What is going on, guys? It's Sarge and welcome back to Prime Reviews. Now in this episode we're going to be taking a look at the Lex Prime, one of my favorite secondary weapons in this game. Now the Lex Prime has a base damage of 150 with most of it being puncture damage, which is really good against your Grineer. It also has a high crit chance and a status chance of 25%, so this weapon can be modded for both crit chance and status chance, which is really good. So you have a lot of variety with your builds. The crit multiplier is pretty average at 2x damage, which is pretty good, so you will have a lot of damage you're able to do with this weapon. And it comes with a free V Polarity slot, so you won't have to use as much Forma on it, which is really good, so you save yourself a lot of time. Now some of the disadvantages of this weapon, it does have a very slow fire rate, so you will have trouble fighting crowds in this game against crowds of enemies, which is going to be a huge problem in some types of missions like survivals. And it also has a really small magazine size, so you will be reloading a lot, which is also a problem because it has a really slow reload time of about 2.3 seconds, which in some cases can be fast, but it's still slow compared to a lot of other weapons like the Vasto Prime, which has like a 1 second reload time. And the recoil on this gun is really bad, so it will jump straight up, which is really bad if you're trying to fight multiple enemies, and if you're trying to like increase the fire rate on this weapon, you will be skyrocketing that recoil, so that will be bad for this weapon. Now as for my build, I go for a high crit chance and high status chance build. Since I want to be able to have both high damage and high status chance, I use Hornet Strike and Lethal Torrent, so I'm able to shoot multiple shots for every bullet, so that the 8-round magazine doesn't feel so short. I use Pistol Gambit so I can increase my crit chance. I also use Jolt to increase my status chance, also with electricity. I use Pathogen rounds and Heated Charge, so I'm able to get more status procs. And the Jolt and Pathogen rounds will allow me to get corrosive damage, so it will be even stronger against armor. And I also have Target Cracker, so it can go with my Pistol Gambit, so it can increase my crit chance and my crit damage at the same time. So this weapon will be really good against higher leveled enemies when you go for headshots. Now I do have one mod that's not on this build. I'm supposed to have barrel diffusion, but I have not Forma this since I'm not the biggest fan of using secondary weapons. I don't usually Forma my weapons if I'm not going to be using them as much. But for the last one, it would go for a barrel diffusion since it would help with the multi-shot and it can help with the status chance in some ways. Now you don't need to go with this build, you can always go for a singular crit chance build or for a singular status chance build, or you can go with the mix of both. It depends on how you play and how you think this class would actually work. It just all depends on you. So this weapon to me personally is one of the best sidearms you can get in this game. It does compete with the Vacor Marilock, so you will have another alternative to that weapon if you don't feel like using that one. So I hope you guys enjoyed this weapon, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay frosty.